one local family's incredible sacrifice in the First World War. The Hatcher family story starts in Germany with their ancestor Ignatius Hartgate, born in 1801, who brought his family to Australia in 1849. The German surname was changed to Hatcher upon arrival in New South Wales, although some members of the family changed the surname to Harcher, related to the Brown family of Cessnock. The Hatcher family's German heritage was in common with the most famous Australian military commander, General Sir John Monash, GCMG KCB VD. George Joseph, known as Joseph, was the son of Ignatius. He was born in Germany and became naturalised Australian in 1906. George was married in Maitland in 1867 to Elizabeth Alford, and they had a son, Joseph. Joseph married Jessie May Hughes in 1893 in Greta and lived at Summerhill near Branxton, where they were described as dairy farmers, and had a total of 14 children, 10 boys and 4 girls. Joseph and Jessie had 3 sons who enlisted for military service at West Maitland: Mervyn Clarence, Alexander Roy and Thomas Harry, who had all been born in Branxton. All 3 boys were employed in the local area in the mining industry, looking after horses. Mervyn and Alexander were wheelers who act as guides for horses, and Thomas was a clipper who connects horses and carts to the mine winch cables. The lives and fortunes of the 3 boys during their time in the Australian Imperial Force will now be recounted in order of their age. Mervyn Clarence Hatcher. The first to enlist was Mervyn Clarence on the 30th of November 1915. He had already been in the local 14th Infantry Regiment for over 3 years. Most of the local boys were in that regiment as part of the government's regulation to prepare the country for war. He was accepted as a private in the 35th Battalion, Regimental number 457, and was sent to Broadmeadow Camp for training. Mervyn was described as 20 years and 7 months of age, although as he was born in 1894, he was possibly 21. He was 5'5" in height, or 1.6 metres, weighing 122 pounds or 55.3 kilograms, with a medium complexion, brown eyes and brown hair. Whilst at Broadmeadow Camp undertaking training, Private Hatcher frequently attended sick parade, complaining of pains in the abdomen. On the 27th of April 1916, he was the subject of a medical review, and as a result, he was medically discharged from the AIF. The name Hatcher MC appears on a memorial panel of the Branxton Memorial Rotunda. Mervyn died in 1974. Alexander Ray Hatcher. Just 3 days after Mervyn's enlistment, on the 3rd of December 1915, Alexander Roy also joined the 35th Battalion as a private, Regimental number 456, and needed to have his parents' permission to enlist. He had also been serving in the 14th Infantry. Alexander was 20 years and 3 months of age, standing 5'5" or 1.65 metres tall, weighing 125 pounds or 56.8 kilograms, with a medium complexion, hazel eyes and brown hair. After training in Broadmeadow, he sailed from Sydney with the 35th Battalion D Company and disembarked on the 9th of July 1916 at Plymouth, England. The battalion then proceeded to France on 21st of November 1916 from Southampton. On the 7th of June 1917, Private Hatcher received a gunshot wound to the left hand, which was addressed by the Casualty Clearance Station. On the 8th of June 1917, Private Hatcher was admitted to the 1st Canadian Hospital at Etaples for treatment. From Etaples, he was transported to England on the hospital ship Essequibo, being admitted to hospital in England on the 12th of June 1917. Private Hatcher remained hospitalised until he was furloughed from hospital on the 19th of July 1917 until the 28th of July, when he joined No. 3 Command Depot at Purnham Down. At No. 3 Command Depot, Private Hatcher undertook physical fitness training to prepare him to return to his unit in France. On the 18th of August 1917, he was transferred out of Command Depot No. 3 and into the Overseas Training Brigade, the role of which was to toughen up soldiers before they entered the fighting in Europe. Private Hatcher returned to France via Southampton, arriving at the 3rd Australian Divisional Base Depot at Rouen, and marched out to join the 35th Battalion on the 22nd of September 1917. On the 1st of October 1917, Private Hatcher received a gunshot wound to his right thigh. He was treated at the Casualty Clearance Station and transferred to the ambulance train on the 6th of October 1917. On the 7th of October, Private Hatcher was admitted to the 12th General Hospital at Rouen, where he succumbed to his wound on the 23rd of October 1917. Private Alexander Roy Hatcher is buried at the Saint-Sever Cemetery Extension at Rouen, France. The Hatcher family accepted Alexander's 1914-15 Star, British War Medal and Victory Medal. During 1922, the Hatcher family also received a copy of Where Australians Rest, the memorial scroll and plaque. Thomas Harry Hatcher. Thomas enlisted on the 12th of January 1916 with his parents' permission and joined the 34th Battalion D Company as a private, regimental number 1144. Thomas was 18 years and 11 months of age, standing 5'6" or 1.67 metres, weighing 129 pounds or 58.5 kilos, with a fair complexion, brown eyes and brown hair. Private Hatcher sailed from Sydney to Plymouth, arriving there on the 23rd of June 1916 on board HMT Aragon. After training in England, 34 Battalion proceeded to France through Southampton on the evening of 21st of November 1916. On the 27th of January 1917, Thomas Harry Hatcher was killed in action. He rests in the Cité Bonjon military cemetery at Armentières, France. Thomas Hatcher was awarded the 1914-15 Star, the British War Medal and the Victory Medal, and the name Hatcher T.H. is inscribed on a memorial panel of the Branxton Memorial Rotunda. Joseph Hatcher, Thomas's next of kin, received a photograph of his grave in France during May 1920, and this was followed by a memorial scroll and a memorial plaque. Thomas's middle name was incorrectly cast on the memorial plaque, reading Henry rather than Harry. During January 1923, a corrected memorial plaque was sent to the family. Memorial. Of the 3 sons who enlisted, the Hatcher family had lost 2 sons within 9 months. The other son returned home with health issues. A memorial service was held at St John's Church, Branxton, on the 13th of January 1918. A holy table in the form of an altar and a pulpit made of carved oak were donated by Joseph and Jessie Hatcher in memory of their sons. The altar and pulpit, which are of a high quality design and manufacture, are highly venerated and remain in use in worship to this day in the church, holding prominent positions within the magnificent building. The brass plaque on the pulpit reads, "Dedicated by Mr. and Mrs. Joe Hatcher in loving memory of their son, Private Thomas Harry Hatcher, aged 20, killed in France, January 1917, while fighting for king and country." The brass plaque on the altar reads, dedicated by Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Hatcher, in loving memory of their son Alexander Roy, AIF, died of wounds received in France, 23rd 10/1917, while fighting for king and country. Researched by Diane Davis, distant cousin of the Hatchers, Nerida Kentwell and Kevin Driscoll. Acknowledgements: Mrs. Cynthia Becker, East Branxton, Mrs. Lorna Lambert, Lower Belford, Miss Lisa Ponder, daughter of Lorna Lambert, Queensland. Voiceover: Alan Beckley.